So I wasn't planning on recording this episode today, but I had other ideas. But instead, I spent a good chunk of the day laying on my couch, feeling guilty as hell. And if you're a mom, you probably already know what I'm talking about. My kids are home. They're bored. They're wandering around the house every 10 minutes saying, "Mom, what can we do?" And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I don't know, maybe play with one of the 14,000 toys you've accumulated over the years. Seriously. We have Barbies, we have dolls, we have art supplies, we have games, we have tablets, TVs, enough stuff in this house to entertain a small village, yet somehow they're bored. Um, if they could only live my childhood. And somehow I feel guilty because while they're wandering around looking for something to do, I'm laying on the couch with absolutely no motivation to do anything. And immediately my brain starts in, you should get up. You should be playing with them. You should be making memories. You should be doing something productive. You should be a better mom. And as I was laying there today listening to that lovely inner critic, uh, it hit me. I've been here before. Actually, I've been here a lot. And almost every single time, if I look at a calendar, there's a reason. Um, and it has to do with my cycle. And usually maybe a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks before it starts, I'm a completely different human. And that's what I want to talk about today. PMS, PMDD, hormones, mom guilt, crying for no reason, and feeling like a stranger inside of your own body, and all of the things women experience that nobody seems to talk enough about. Now, before I go any further, I'm not a doctor. I am not diagnosing anybody. I am just a woman sharing her experience. Because if there's one thing this podcast has taught me, it's that the things we keep hidden are usually the things other people need to hear the most. For years, I thought PMS was basically bloating, cravings, and being a little cranky. And to be honest, it started off that way and got worse for me over time. Basically just like wanting chocolate and sweatpants and just to be left alone, normal stuff. What I didn't realize was that for some women, it could be so much bigger than that. And, you know, I'm talking about PMDD, which stands for premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And reading about it felt a little bit like reading my own diary. I have been diagnosed, and one thing I learned is that PMDD isn't just PMS. Um, with extra drama, it could seriously impact mood, energy, relationships, concentration, daily life. It's a lot. And learning about it, a lot of things started making sense. Because every month I seem to go through this same cycle. I start feeling more emotional, more tired, more irritable. You know, then I cry, then I feel guilty for crying, then I feel guilty for being tired, then I feel guilty for being guilty. It's honestly ridiculous. It's like my emotions form a pyramid scheme. Every month recruits three more feelings underneath it. And before you know it, I'm crying because I yelled at my kids, and then I'm crying because I'm crying about yelling at them. Can anybody relate? 'Cause one thing I heard recently that hit me hard was a woman saying she only feels like herself maybe a week or a week and a half out of the month. And I remember hearing that and maybe thinking, holy crap, me too. That is exactly how I feel. I mean, there are weeks where I feel motivated, creative, patient, connected. I feel like myself. And then there are other weeks where everything suddenly feels harder. Parenting, marriage, decision making, just getting off the couch. Everything feels heavier. My legs feel like there's like weights on them. And one of the worst symptoms for me personally is something called depersonalization. Mm. I don't know if anybody listening has ever experienced it. It's kind of hard to explain. I guess the best way I can describe it is it's like feeling disconnected from yourself. Like you're here, but you're not fully here. Kind of like you're watching your life happen instead of actually participating in it. Like someone turned down the brightness on the world. And although I can still function, I can still talk, I can still make dinner, I can still answer questions, but something just feels off. And it's honestly one of the scarier symptoms. As I'm sitting here right now, I can just I feel it, which kind of inspired me to record this episode. I'm like in the midst of it right now because when you don't feel connected to yourself, it's unsettling. Uh, am I anxious, tired? Am I losing my mind? What is happening? And logically, I know I'm okay, but it doesn't make it less uncomfortable. The interesting thing is that PMDD seems to magnify what is already happening in my life. If I'm worried about something, I worry more. If I'm frustrated about something, I become more frustrated. If I'm insecure about something, I become even more. It's like somebody grabs the volume knob and turned it up all the way. And then comes the mom guilt. Oh my God. Can we talk about the mom guilt? Because I swear, women could find a way to feel guilty about about winning the lottery. I today I felt guilty because I just needed a rest. And that's the thing. If my husband wasn't feeling well and spent the day on the couch, I tell him to take care of himself. If my friend called me and said she was exhausted and emotional, I tell her to be gentle with herself. But when it's me, there's different rules apparently. When it's me, I should somehow power through. I should somehow have endless patience. I should somehow be available for everyone all the time. And that's a standard I would never hold to any human being. Luckily, I have a wonderful husband who I'm grateful for, who's able to be supportive right now for me. um, 'Cause I'm just not there today. And I'm being honest. So that's one thing I've been trying to learn lately. How to stop fighting what's happening inside of me. And instead of asking what's wrong with me, I've been trying to ask What do I need in this moment? Do I need to rest? And then do I need to take a walk, be alone? Um, do I need to stop expecting myself to operate at 100% every single day of the month? Because maybe that's not realistic. Maybe part of being human is accepting that we have seasons and women literally have cycles. I think another reason I wanted to record this episode is because I know I'm not the only one. I know there are women listening right now who have sat in their car and cried before going into the store. Women who've questioned whether they're good mothers. Women who felt disconnected from themselves. Women who looked around at their lives and thought, why does everything suddenly feel so hard? And maybe you felt alone in that. I know I have. But the more women I listen to, the more I realize how many of us are carrying similar experiences. We're not just talking about them. And honestly, I think we should. Because keeping it hidden doesn't make it easier, it makes it lonelier. So I don't really have some inspirational ending where I tell you I solved all of this. I haven't. In fact, as I'm reporting this, I'm sitting in it. I'm still tired. I'm still emotional. I still feel guilty about my kids being bored. I still have a pile of laundry waiting for me, a dishwasher to unload, um, a husband to support, and I'm still very much a work in progress. But maybe that's the point. Maybe life isn't about arriving somewhere. Maybe it's about learning how to be a little kinder to ourselves while we're figuring it out. And maybe next month, when I'm sitting on this couch again, wondering why I'm suddenly feeling like crying because somebody looked at me funny, I'll remember this conversation. I'll remember that it passes and that I'm not broken. And hopefully, I'll remember that I'm not the only woman going through it. So, if any of this resonated with you, just know you're not alone. And if you're currently listening to this while hiding in your bathroom, sitting in your car, or lying on the couch trying to get through the day, I see you. So thanks for listening. You got this.